Welcome everyone. So we have already covered all the topics which are part of your pre-midterm syllabus. So I have decided that from today we will first revise those topics and at the same time I will also give you notes. So this will definitely help you in your preparation for your pre-midterm exam. So we know that in this chapter we have mostly covered the topics of mixture. So let us start it from the beginning. So you can see that first of all, matter, it is divided into two categories. One is pure and the other one is impure. For pure, we are using the term substance. So that is pure substance, and impure substance means mixture. So you can see that pure substance, it is further divided into element and compound, and impure substance means mixture. Now I have also provided some examples of element and compound. For element, you are having different examples like lot of metals which you can see like iron, copper, gold, silver, platinum, zinc. All these are the example of element. For compound, the most common example is water, then oxygen gas, carbon dioxide gas, salt, sugar. These are the example of compound. So about element and compound, we will also be studying in detail, but that is given later on in the same chapter. For impure substance, I told you impure substance we are having only one thing, which is mixture, and I also explained the easiest way to understand mixture is just you see the first three alphabets mix means this mixture, any mixture, it is obtained when we are mixing two or more than two components. In any of the mixture you will find that it is formed when we are mixing two or more than two components. So again, mixture is further divided into two types. One is homogeneous mixture and the other one is heterogeneous mixture. And about this we will also be discussing in detail. So first of all, let us understand the definition of pure substance. So pure substance, it is defined as which is made up of only one kind of particle. That means any pure substance, whether it is element or it is compound, it should be made up of only one kind of particle. Otherwise, if it is made up of two or more than two types of particles or components, then definitely it will be mixture. So for pure substance, it should have only one kind of particle. So if still you are having any confusion, especially in the case of compound, I told you you don't have to confuse yourself, as this is the this we will also study, but it is given later on in the same chapter. So you just don't worry, just remember this definition and the example of pure substance. Then next one is mixture. So a mixture contains more than one particles mixed in any proportion. Now, as I told you that mixture always it contains two or more than two type of particles or components which is mixed in any proportion. Mixed in any proportion means for mixture there is no fixed proportion. For example, if you are making sugar syrup or sugar solution, then if you are adding 1 teaspoon in water, then also it is said to be sugar solution. If you are adding 4 teaspoon in water, then also it is said to be sugar solution. The other example, if you are taking that is of lemonade. So for lemonade, you can still vary the amount of lemon juice or water or salt or any of the component. If you are just changing the amount, then also it will still be mixture. So for mixture, there is no fixed amount, there is no fixed quantity that each of the component has to mix in certain proportions. So that is why mixture, for mixture, the components when they are mixed, the particles when they are mixed, it is not mixed in any proportion. Example, you can see salt or sugar dissolved in water, soft drink, lemonade, etc. Even tea or coffee, it is also an example of mixture. Now you can easily understand that there are few students, there are few people that they want to drink tea or coffee without sugar. Still it will be said to be tea and still it is a mixture. And there are few people that they want to drink tea or coffee with sugar, and amount of sugar can also be varied. So still that will said to be tea or coffee. So that is what I am saying, that in mixture the amount of the components can be varied, because mixture you just what you have to do, you simply have to mix two or more than two components and you are going to get a mixture. Now the other important topic is types of mixture. So there are two types of mixture, which are homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. As I have already told you that homo means, this particular term homo means same and hetero means different. So for homogeneous mixture means that type of mixture which is having uniform composition. For example, sugar solution, for example, alloys or lemonade or soft drink. These are the example of homogeneous mixture, because in these examples you will find that these mixture, they are having same composition, uniform composition throughout. The next one is heterogeneous mixture. Hetero means different. So in such type of mixture, the components, they are not mixed they are mixed, but they are not having uniform composition throughout. For example, chalk powder in water or muddy water, you can easily see that most of the solid particles they use to settle down, and very few are there on the upper side, and that is why we can easily just observe and we can say that they are not having uniform composition, and that is why they are said to be heterogeneous mixture. Now the definition of homogeneous mixture: mixture which has a uniform composition throughout is called homogeneous mixture. Like I have like now only I have explained, they cannot be distinguished physically. Now this is also very important, they cannot be distinguished physically. Like just by looking at the homogeneous mixture, you cannot separate the components. For example, after preparing lemonade, you cannot see that where are the particles of sugar, or where are the particles of lemon juice, or where are the particles of salt or any other component. You won't be able to find. Same way, if simple example you want to take is sugar solution. After dissolving sugar, you know that it is a sugar solution because it is tasting sweet, but still you won't be able to say just by looking at that sugar solution that sugar particles are present. That is why in homogeneous mixture, because it is having uniform composition, they are not physically, they cannot be physically distinguished. So examples also have given: salt dissolved in water, lemonade, alloy. The most common example of alloy is steel, etc. Because I told you that in stainless steel we are mixing basically three metals and one non-metal. So iron, nickel, and chromium are the metals, and carbon is non-metal. But if you will see stainless steel, you can easily find stainless steel at your home also. There are a lot of uses of stainless steel, like even utensils are also made of it. So you cannot find in the stainless steel that where are the particles of iron or where are the particles of chromium or nickel or carbon. No, you cannot find. Now the second one is heterogeneous mixture. So mixture which do not have uniform composition and contain physically distinguished parts are called heterogeneous mixture. Like I already explained about the definition of heterogeneous mixture, that they do not have uniform composition, and apart from that, they contain physically distinguished parts. It means that when a heterogeneous mixture is formed, then the components of that heterogeneous mixture, they can be physically distinguished. Just by looking at heterogeneous mixture, you can easily say that this is the particle of this component and this is the particle of the other component. For example, chalk powder in water. When you are mixing chalk powder in water, you can easily distinguish chalk inside that chalk powder in water mixture. Or if you are adding sand in water, then also you can easily distinguish the particles of sand. So in heterogeneous mixture, you can easily heterogeneous mixture, the components can be physically distinguished. Example: muddy water, chalk powder in water, sand in water. So in this category, what are the examples you can find? The examples of suspension you can find, because in suspension it is a heterogeneous mixture, it is not having uniform composition, and the particles, the solid particles in suspension, their size is quite large that we can see with our naked eye, and because of that we can easily distinguish them. So in the category of heterogeneous mixture, you can give the examples of suspension. This is just a tip I am telling you, which you can remember if you have to give the examples. So for today, this much, which is very important. The topics which we have covered is very important, although these are the topics which is given at the starting. But you should know, because later on when we are going to discuss about solution, suspension and colloidal solution, we are going to discuss about them a lot. Thank you.